What do you think when you imagine it, it's going to look like when Leo Messi is carrying the ball against MLS competition?
Well, I mean, he's still going to have to compete, right? That I think is clear, and we've seen that in this league. How many foreigners have come to this league, and you guys see it up in Toronto, where all of a sudden you get here, you think it's going to be one thing, and I shudder to say you think it's going to be easier, but I just don't have a better word for it. So you think that the level's going to be one thing, and you get in games, and all of a sudden you start traveling, which you don't do a lot of in Europe with respect to the size of the country, and then going to 2 different countries, 3 different time zones, and different weather, and all of that stuff. And you add all of that up, and all of a sudden you realize this isn't necessarily as easy as I thought it was going to be. What I'm really interested in, and we're going to find out sort of in time. If you remember back in 2007 when David Beckham came here, how not only was it big for the league, but how David Beckham's move changed some of the rules in our league, right? We now have designated players, and teams have 3 of them now. You can spend as much money as you want. What is the Leo Messi long-term effect? Because we've been sort of yearning for a little while here. Let's just kind of take take the leash off a little bit and let teams go and do what they want to do. Does this now push us towards that a little bit more? And again, time will tell, but so, we've had one big example in Beckham, how that could change the way owners look at things. The league looks at things. Will Leo Messi's, time here take our league in that regard also to the next step?
Well, we've already seen his reported contract change a lot of way that the structuring might change for future contracts, including a team option for part ownership, a cut of revenue from Apple TV's MLS season pass, and Adidas kit sales. So I wonder, when you look at the way that they've structured this, obviously it's pretty hard to compare to $1.6 billion of Saudi money. So they had to find a way to make this a lucrative opportunity for Messi. Do you think that's something that we might see moving forward? And just how important is this structure of this deal for maybe the growth of MLS being able to land these big players?
Yeah, I don't know that. Excuse me. I don't know that anybody else gets the deal Leo Messi gets, and the structure, because they don't have the name Messi on the back of their shirt when it's all said and done. What it might do is bring in, somehow more money. Obviously, Apple TV, and that's been a big deal here in the U.S. And I work on the Apple package, and we know how important it is to continue to grow that. But you can only give so many people a slice of that pie, right? But what it does is potentially bring more money into the league, as I said, bring more teams into the league, which in turn will bring better players and bigger name players into the league. And we've done a really good job of late of buying young players and selling them overseas, developing American players. You guys are seeing it in Canada as well, developing young players and selling them to Europe. I think that's part of the cycle. But Lionel Messi's not brought here to buy and sell, right? Lionel Messi's brought here to grow the league. He has his own mission. There's no doubt about that. And Major League Soccer's got their mission on how they want to do things. But again, it opens up the door for so many different players. I've read reports. I mean, we've been hearing about Sergio Ramos for a while wanting to come to Major League Soccer. Last night he's been linked to Atlanta United. Di Maria, who's a free agent as of a week ago, has now been linked to Inter Miami. There's been other guys, Luis Suarez. I mean, the list goes, Busquets. The list goes on and on about players now. And I really think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Lionel Messi decided to come here and ply his trade for probably the rest of his career here in the U.S. So many reports about what it's done. Charlotte sold, 10,000 tickets yesterday, because I guess I hadn't looked at the schedule. That must be one of the potential destinations. Chicago, where I covered the last 3 years of games in Chicago, I think they sold like 12,000 tickets in one day, because that's a potential destination. Think about how many teams in Major League Soccer are going to have to move probably one game a year from their current stadiums to maybe the bigger NFL stadiums in town. There's a massive effect But of course, when you're paying that much money for Leo Messi, that's the effect that you want if you're Major League Soccer.